Welcome back to the mat with Sunshine. Before we get right into the flow, I want to thank you again for subscribing and continuing to watch my videos. Drum roll, please. We are doing a giveaway. To give back to you guys, one of you that is subscribing will win a pair of bala bangles. I will leave all the details below in the description for you to enter for a chance to win the giveaway and receive a pair of bala bangles. If you have bala bangles, feel free to place them on your ankles. If you don't have them, they are not necessary. It is totally up to you, but I will be using them today. These are the 1 pound bangles, and they are just going to add a little bit more for our legs as we go through a nice full body flow. Okay, so once you have those ankle weights on, go ahead and stand yourself all the way up and we'll come to the bottom of our mats. Standing up nice and tall, as you inhale, reach your arms all the way up to the ceiling. As you exhale, I want you to find a little forward fold, reach towards those toes. Inhale all the way up. Exhale all the way down. Hopefully my hair is not in the way. You can always find a soft bend in those knees. All right, this last one, we hold that forward fold. Walk your hands all the way out. We find a downward dog. From that downward dog, press those heels down one at a time, pedaling them out. We're lifting our hips to the ceiling, pressing our chest towards our thighs. Nice. Last one from side to side, pressing those heels down. And we'll come all the way up onto those two toes. As you exhale, can you roll your spine up towards the ceiling, scooping the belly, and we'll come into a plank. Shoulders stack over those wrists. Inhale, lift the spine up, press the hips to the ceiling, downward dog. Exhale, roll that spine. We are finding our plank. Inhale all the way up. Perfect. Finding lots of movement in the spine. We'll do one more here. All right, as you come into your plank, can you step your left foot forward in between those hands, pulling the knee to your chest? You can keep your hands down on your mat. I like to step my hands a little bit closer towards that front foot. As you inhale, I want you to try to extend your left leg, lift your hips up, find a little stretch. As you exhale, lower down, tap your right knee all the way down to your mat. Inhale, lift the hips up, find a little stretch. Exhale, tap the knee down. So we're finding a little triangle stretch here. All the way up as you inhale. Exhale all the way down. Focus on the back of your front leg, finding that stretch. Last one here. All the way up and all the way down. Can we keep that right knee down? Right hand stays onto your mat. As you inhale, left arm reaches to the ceiling, big twist. Exhale, let that hand tap. Inhale, reach the hand to the ceiling. Exhale, it taps, finding that big twist here. Very last one. And we reset. We'll step that left knee back. Lift your hips up, find that downward dog. Perfect. As you're planking, step your right foot forward in between those hands. You can always bring your hands a little bit closer or your foot can wiggle forward. We try to lift our hips up, straightening out our right leg, find a stretch. Exhale, tap the left knee. Inhale, lift the hips up. Exhale, tap the knee. Now you can step that right foot out to the side if that is more comfortable, so it doesn't have to be in between those hands. That can give you a little bit more space for your belly. Perfect. Nice little stretch at the top. Exhale, we lower. All right, last one here. All the way up. And back down, we'll stay down. Hi, this is Editing Sunshine. I messed up and I said and did lift my left arm when you are supposed to lift your right arm into this stretch
So please, as you're inhaling, reach your right arm all the way up to the ceiling, opening up that chest. Exhale, let that right arm reset. Inhale, lift that right arm, and exhale, let it reset.
And reset, perfect. Go ahead and sweep that right foot back. All right, once we're on those hands and knees, finding a few cat-cows. Inhale, dip the belly. Exhale, round the spine, tuck the chin. We're dropping the belly as we stretch out that core. Exhale, round the spine. Find a separation of your shoulder blades at the top. Last one in both directions. My hair is getting crazy. All right, and we find a nice neutral spine. Go ahead and sit down onto your bottom and bring those legs out in front of you. We are starting with some spine stretches. Now, I want you to make sure your legs are wider than your hips, preferably about the width of your mat here. We're sitting up really tall, lengthening that spine. Now, as you go into a spine stretch, we're sitting tall here, and as you exhale, we're trying to tuck the tailbone to roll the pelvis back, scooping the belly as you round your spine, roll your shoulders forward, tuck your chin, and think about your shoulders coming down towards those hips as you round your spine. Inhale, lengthen the spine, sit up nice and tall, coming directly onto those sit bones. Exhale, we round, scooping that belly. Inhale, we come all the way up. Perfect. On this last one, can you hold that round spine? We'll round forward as much as we can, still trying to tilt that pelvis back behind us, and we reach towards our toes, tuck that chin. Exhale, we come back into like a little C curve, scooping that belly. Inhale, forward. Exhale, coming back. Keep that chin tucked, keep those shoulders rounded here. We're rounding the entire spine as best as we can. All right, very last one. All the way forward, as round as you can get that spine, stretching it out. And we'll sit all the way up, roll those shoulders. All right, now we add a little twist, so we are going into our saw. You're sitting up tall. This time I want you to open your chest up towards one side. From here, opposite hand reaches towards that opposite foot. Hold your twist as you round your spine and reach towards those toes. Slowly come all the way up, recenter, and we'll switch to the other side. We twist as we exhale. Inhale, round the spine, reach towards those toes. Exhale all the way up. Inhale to reset. Rounding that spine every time you're reaching towards your toes. I want you to think about your pinky sawing off your little toe. Perfect. We have last one here. And we'll come all the way back up. Glue those legs together. We are going into some roll-ups to really focus on that core here. Now, if you have those ankle weights, sometimes those help keep your legs down. I'm gonna have to move the cat. Hey, thank you. You're sitting up tall, reaching your arms out in front of you. To start this movement, it's similar to our spine stretch. You tuck the tailbone, round the spine, scooping that belly. But instead of reaching towards your toes, as you're rounding your spine, we start to roll ourselves down, moving bone by bone until we lay all the way down onto that mat. Take a big inhale at the bottom. As you exhale, it's like an abdominal curl. You look towards your toes. Lift the shoulder blades, hands come just over those thighs, and we're focusing on squeezing the core in towards that spine and trying to pull all of your ribs down to your hips to round your spine as much as you can. Keep rounding it as you start to sit yourself all the way up. Reach towards your toes here, keeping that spine round. We roll ourselves down, tilting the pelvis back as best as we can, pulling that core up towards the rib cage so we can round. Perfect. All the way down to your mat. Take a big inhale. Ready? As you exhale, round forward, scooping that belly. You can always grab the back of your thighs. We hold the spine round as we reach towards our toes. and we come all the way back down. Scooping that belly. I know I keep saying round that spine, but I want you to think about your spine trying to round around a ball. So there's a little ball at your stomach, and as you come up, you're pushing the ball into your stomach. We round over that ball, and it keeps pushing as you reach forward. And as you slowly come back, it's pushing into you. You're still rounding over that ball until we lay all the way down onto our backs. All right, last one here, all the way up. Reach towards those toes, find a little stretch. Rounding your spine, and we'll sit all the way up. Big shoulder roll at the top. Perfect. From here, coming back onto those hands and knees. Let's come back onto those hands and knees. Hands are under shoulders, knees are under hips. This time we tuck our toes. As you inhale, we lift the hips all the way up to the ceiling, finding a downward dog. As you exhale and you plank, can you pull your left knee towards your chest? As you find that downward dog, lift the left leg up to the ceiling. Gentle squeeze of that left glute, pulling that core away from your right thigh. Exhale, we find our plank, left knee to chest. Inhale, downward dog, left leg to ceiling. Try to keep those hips nice and level. Three here. Last two. Last one. We pull that knee forward, step the left foot in between your hands as best as you can here. All right, we're keeping our weight in that left leg. As you inhale, can we lift the hands all the way up to the ceiling? Find that balance. Nice job. Reach those arms out in front of you. We're trying to stay low. We're lifting that chest, core is gently pulling in. Your right arm sweeps back. We start to open that right knee, twisting the toes out to the side. Great. As you exhale, right arm comes back through center. We twist into that high lunge. Inhale, open the chest, open that right hip. Exhale, twist towards that left side. Only our right leg is moving here. Our left leg is staying stable. Our hips are trying to stay low so our left knee can stay bent. Last one, we open and we stay low. As you inhale, reach to the ceiling. Exhale, we lower down into a plie. Hands come to heart center, knees are going wide. Inhale to the ceiling. Exhale, lowering down. I want you to open your hips up here as you're lowering. So our tailbone is pointing down to the floor. Our chest is staying lifted. Nice job. All right, very last one. We stay low. This time, can you twist towards your right side, finding that lunge again. Right knee is bent, left leg is straight. Reach your arms out in front of you, sink those hips a little bit lower while you keep the chest lifted. As you inhale, left arm sweeps up to the ceiling and back as we twist those left toes out to the bottom of our mat. Exhale up and turn into that high lunge facing the right leg. Inhale, open up into that plie. Perfect. Ooh. We're keeping our right leg nice and bent as our left leg externally rotates and internally rotates to find that lunge. Great job. Keep those hips low. We have 3 here. Last 2. Last 1. We pause in that lunge. Reach your hands up to the ceiling. Take a big inhale. As you exhale, hands frame that right leg or right foot. Lift that right foot, lift all the way to the ceiling here. Find that 3-legged dog. As you exhale, right knee to elbow, we find our plank. Inhale, right leg to the ceiling. Exhale, planking. Inhale, downward dog. Now at any point, you can ditch that right knee and do this with both feet on your mat. Fully up to you, whatever feels best for your body today, where you feel like you can control your movements. All right, very last one. All the way to the ceiling. As you come into your plank, can you set your right knee down to your mat and set the left knee down? Hands are under shoulders, knees are under hips, pressing through your shoulders here. We're finding some chest presses. Hands stay on your mat. They're a little bit wider than your shoulders, and I want your chest to drop forward and down as you inhale. Exhale, press away from your mat. As we're finding our chest press, I want you to think about the sides of your ribs, helping your arms press away from that mat and stabilizing here. Hips are staying lifted. Don't let them press back towards those heels. Use that exhale as you press away from that mat. Great job. We have 4. Last 3. 2. And 1. Can you stay nice and low? Little tiny lift and lower. I want this to be slow and controlled so it's not a bounce. Whew. We have 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come all the way up. Knees go wider than your hips. I want you to find child's pose, pressing your hips back. Let the forehead drop down to your mat. Reach those arms long. Perfect. Let's come back up. This time, we are coming on to our right forearm. When we come to that right forearm, I want both legs to go long down your mat here. And they come to the front of your mat, so they're a little bit in front of you, but your chest and shoulders are, your chest and your hips are in line with each other. We're pressing out of our bottom shoulder to lift our core. Your top hand reaches to the ceiling. Just that top leg is lifting up as you exhale, reach towards your toes. Inhale, it taps down. Exhale, we lift. Inhale, we tap. Now, as you lift that leg, try not to let your hips fully roll back. You're staying on the side of your glute here. We're starting to squeeze the left oblique as we lift that leg. Exhale to lift. Inhale to lower. If you want this to be harder, can you lift that bottom leg up to a little hover? Whew. Squeezing those obliques, try not to sink down into that shoulder. We're lifting yourself up. I want you to think about if you're about to press into your hand and sit yourself up, but we hold. Great job. Whew. Oh, you are too cute. Too cute. Let's do 3 here. Last 2. Whew. Very last one. Glue those legs together. You'll roll a little bit farther back onto your bottom. Keep those toes pointed. This time as you exhale, pull both knees to your chest. Left elbow taps the knees. Inhale, we lengthen out. Exhale, pull them in. Inhale, lengthen out. Keep pressing out of that shoulder. Try not to let those toes tap your mat. We have 3. He's distracting me today. 2. Last 1. Pull those knees in. Extend long. Hold long. Can we lift those legs to the ceiling? 4, 5. Last 4. 3. You can do it. 2. And 1. Lower those legs. Down. Oh, my goodness. We'll come into a little mermaid. Those right toes meet the left knee, left foot tucks. From here, your right hand comes down to your mat. As you inhale, can we reach our left arm up and over, lifting those hips, big side stretch. Exhale, we lower down. Inhale, press into that right hand, lifting the hips up. Exhale, we lower down. Perfect, this last one. Can we start to add that left leg? As you lift your hips up, can we lift the left leg up? As you lower down, reset that left knee. Inhale up. Exhale down, resetting that knee. Whew, perfect, last one. I want you to hold at the top. You're pressing through that right arm. Lift your hips up and press them forward here as you find that little stretch. Squeezing your glute to make that lift. Pressing through your shoulder. 3, 2, and 1. We lower everything back down. Reset that knee. Left hand to the side of your mat. Right arm reaches over, find a big side stretch. Coming all the way up, we'll switch over to our left forearm. Both of your legs are going straight down your mat. We send them slightly out in front of us. He really brought a lot of hair over to me. Whew. Toes are pointed here. Reach that right arm to the ceiling. As you exhale, we lift our top leg, reach towards those toes. Inhale, everything resets. Exhale, little lift. Inhale, we reset. Now this can be as little of a lift as you would like, but I still want you to reach towards your leg as you make that lift. If you want this to be harder, you lift both of those legs up and your bottom leg just stays at a hover the entire time. We press through that bottom shoulder as if you're sitting yourself up, but we keep that elbow down. That elbow is there to help find some balance. You can always lower that bottom leg down. Whew. Let's do 3 here. Squeezing that right oblique. Last 2. 1 more here. We glue the legs together, they stay together. We pull our knees towards our chest, elbow taps the knees. Inhale, lengthen long. Exhale, we come in. Inhale, lengthen long. You can always tap your feet down. You'll just have to roll onto your hip a little bit more, and then you can pull those knees in, or stay nice and still with that torso. Pull your knees to your chest and lengthen to that hover. The hover will be a little bit harder because we don't get that little reset. Last 2. You got this. Very last one, knee and elbow come in. We hold long for 5. We lift. Last 4. 3, 2, very last one. Whew. And we lower down. Go ahead and find that mermaid. We bend both legs. Right foot tucks towards your bottom, left foot tucks towards that right knee. Left hand is coming to your mat, right arm reaches out long. As you inhale, we lift our hips up. Find that big side stretch as you reach your right arm up and over. Exhale, we lower everything back down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. If you're ready to add, we start to extend the right leg as we come up onto our knee. Exhale, everything resets, coming back into that little mermaid position with our legs. Inhale up. And exhale down. Last one, I want you to hold at the top if that is comfortable. We stay here, little pulse of that leg. 3, 2, 1. Lower everything back down, let everything reset. Right hand comes to your mat, left arm reaches up and over. Big side stretch. Perfect, and we'll come all the way up. Whew. Let's find a comfortable seated position and start to roll the shoulders down and back. Hold those shoulders back. Close down the eyes and circle your head a few times. letting the body relax. Let the work settle into your bodies. When you are ready, sitting all the way up, feel free to keep those eyes closed as you're listening to your body and breath, slowing down the heart rate, slowing down the breath. I'd like to remind you to subscribe and enter for the giveaway for some bala bangles. And I also want to thank you for finding some movement with me today. I'll see you on the mat again soon. Bye. Thank you for subscribing. In case you can't read that, the subscribing is a little hard to read. Drink your water and go look at the description below, see how you can win some bala bangles.